Hey, this is Mike Addis. We're back to you again. This is an important video, so let's pay attention on this one. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Yes, you. Don't look away. I'm talking to you. Okay, so the purpose of this video, it's a very important video. We're going to talk about wholesaling product versus retailing product and selling new versus used. Now, I can write a book on each one of these topics. When I started in the business back in 1985, there was no internet, and the only way you could advertise anything was through the newspaper. There was no Craigslist. The computer just came out a couple of years earlier, so there was really nothing. So the only way I could buy and sell product was I had to wholesale it. So I'd buy a container of something and sell a container. I started off putting products like computers. I bought all the computers from companies that were going out of business in California. I was in Los Angeles at the time on Dorothy Street in Brentwood, California, down the street from Arnold Schwarzenegger, which basically no one knew. He was just a bodybuilder that, won Mr. Olympia. He was like down the street in Santa Monica with his girlfriends or whatever, Maria. Anyway, the only way I could buy and sell product is I had to get on the phone and call somebody. I had to buy something from someone here in California, which is technology at the time. Then I had to sell it to somebody preferably close because they had to pay me money. So that's a little bit of the ancient history. Let's fast forward to today, 10 times easier, because you just put it on a platform like eBay or Amazon. However, if it's easy for me, it's easy for you. And it's easy for 10 million other guys out there that are selling product that may be similar to my product. We'll get to the advantages to that later. But for now, I've gone from wholesale to retail, and I have over 30,000 retail customers. I still have wholesale customers, and I'm going to get to that in a second. So, number one, you're really going to be in a retail business. And then you're going to buy and sell product, usually on the big platforms, until you decide to go to Shopify, which I wouldn't recommend, or you open your own e-commerce store, which I already told you how to do in the last video. So I'm primarily, number one, I'm a retailer. Number two, I also wholesale product. Where I get those customers from, they contact me through eBay and Amazon. They say they don't want to use eBay and Amazon. I mean, no one wants to pay fees. They figure they can get a lower price from me if they buy direct, because then I don't have to pay any fees. Well, think again. I'm going to give you a discount, but I don't give you that much of a discount, so I love wholesale. If I'm selling 100,000 or 150,000 or whatever I'm selling in a month, we'll use 100,000 as a round number. I can sell the product almost the same to them as I can sell it on my eBay store, because I can discount it about 15%, and they're paying the freight. And they wire transfer $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. I've had months where I've had 50, 60,000 in wholesale and only 30, 40% or 30, 40,000 in retail. Why was wholesale better for me? Well, because I got the money in fast. I love wholesale. Retail's one person at a time. They don't like it for whatever reason, or they say their kid bought it. I got to return it. I have very little or no returns when I wholesale product. And you don't have to go out and buy and find wholesale buyers. And you eliminate all the platform fees that you have to pay eBay and Amazon, or the search engine optimizer fees, or the Shopify fees in order to get yourself in a position to sell product. So is wholesale better? Well, yes and no, because you make less, but you don't have to pay the fees. So per $100 that I sell, I eliminate 15%, but I have to reduce the price because it's a wholesale. Does that make sense? So really the answer to the question is wholesale or retail. Well, you want to do a combination of both. The problem with wholesaling is I have probably have 5 or 10 wholesale buyers, and they don't always buy. When COVID came, the wholesale buyers disappeared because a lot of them were in New York and other major cities. So when they closed down, I lost the wholesale business. Moral of the story, I learned through COVID to always push through my retail sales. And I've sold over 40,000, I have over 40,000 transactions on eBay and Amazon over the last 7 or 8 years. That makes sense? It should. Now you learn that over time. So what's the moral of this story, wholesale or retail? Build your retail base. Build it through a large platform. Then kind of gradually build your own store. But don't leave wholesale out, because wholesale I love because the money comes in faster and bigger, and I have to go through the rah-rah. Instead of selling to 100 guys a month, I can sell one wholesale lot and make the same amount of money and the same profit. Okay? Now, the next part of this video is new or used. Woo, this is my favorite part. New or used. Let me give you a little history. I've worked for the largest manufacturers in the world, Daimler-Benz, which is Mercedes-Benz of North America. I worked for Chrysler Corporation, a big car manufacturer. So my background 30 years ago was with the automobile business, even owned and operated part of a Mazda Volkswagen dealership in Modesto, California, on McHenry Boulevard, to be exact. 931 McHenry Boulevard, it's gone. Made a lot of money doing all these things. And what I learned from that experience is that there was more money in used cars than new cars. Surprised? Used cars are 4 or 5 times bigger sales than new. They sell 17 million cars a year in the United States, 15 to 17 million, depending on what's going on. Well, guess what? They sell about 50 to 60 to 70 million cars a year, and that's through private transactions, not counting dealerships or wholesale business. That's between I'm selling you my car, registrations. So what's bigger, new or used? Used! Who makes more money in the automobile business? The guy that's selling a new car or a used car? Used cars. New cars are limited. Why? As I've told you in other videos, the guys that make the stuff, they're the ones that make all the money. The manufacturer makes the money. The dealer makes 10 to 20%, depending on the kind of car that he's selling, which is a new car. But the dealer makes maybe 40, 50% when he sells used. So what does that have to do with any of this stuff? It's all related. The car business is just an example I'm using to explain to you that used has way more money because you don't have to pay the manufacturer. I even wrote it in my book. You can go look at my books. Go to Amazon and put in Mike Addis. Okay, 0 to 1 million, and then I crossed out 1 billion. I said in my book, Apple's the stupidest company in the world. They're losing hundreds of millions of billions of dollars. They should be controlling the used cell phone business. Guess what? They got into the used cell phone business. It's a mega business. It's the used Apple cell phone business is 10 times, 20, 30 times bigger, and they can control it. And they do, because I know the guys that refurbish all cell phones. Okay? So I concentrate on used product because I am the one that's making the money. How do you determine the value of a used item? Whether it's Nike shoes, I use Michael Air Jordans because I only sell big brand name products, buy and sell only big brand name products. I determine the value based on what's being sold on eBay and Amazon. Amazon doesn't give you any historical sales figure, but eBay does. eBay is the marketplace to determine what something's worth, for the most part, even cars. You can figure almost anything out on eBay. It's like an automatic appraisal format to see what the heck something's worth. So before I buy a Surface Pro 3, for example, I have to look every time to see what people are selling them for on eBay because I'm going to have to compete against those guys. Whether I'm selling in my own e-commerce store or Shopify, I still have to compete against people on eBay and Amazon every day. They're the guys and girls out there that I have to compete with. So in order to determine what I'm going to pay for that, I take the sale price or the current market value on eBay. So let's say the Surface Pro 3, I'm just guessing, is selling for $350. I want to buy it for half of that. So let's say $300. It's easier for me to calculate. I want to buy it for $150. Actually, I want to buy it for $125 because I don't have to pay eBay and Amazon, or eBay in this particular case, 15% off the top, including my free freight, my 3% to PayPal, whatever they're using. They're using their own thing, Anex or whatever the hell they call it. I don't remember the company over in Europe. But you're still going to have to pay money fees, which are the fees you have to pay for financing and getting the product, getting the transaction through. It doesn't cost them anything. They charge you 2.5% to 3%. At least PayPal used to charge you 3%. So you have to figure all those fees as 15%. So you have to take that into consideration when you buy something and sell it. New product, don't make any money on it, unless I'm buying a closeout. So when I buy a closeout and it's a discontinued model, I hardly get any of that product. I bought 3,000 Samsung adapters for some tablet. I don't recall which one. 3,000, they were brand new. I paid $3 for them and sold them for $10. Wholesale. I made $7 on 3,000 adapters. I made $21,000 in less than a week. I never even broke them out of the pallets. I sold like 4 or 5 pallets, just shipped it to the guy. And believe it or not, I sold it through eBay. You say, well, why did you sell it through eBay? Pay a platform because eBay has a maximum amount you pay on over a certain amount of money. I think it's like $500. I think it used to be $250. So I didn't pay the 15%, or excuse me, the 8 to 10% fees to eBay and Amazon. And the guy paid for the freight. So I still made my profit. What did he do with the product? He just took all those Samsung adapters and put it on, stuck it in the Amazon warehouse and tried to sell them for $45. But guess what? He didn't sell them because the market value was $29. What's the point of the video? Wholesale versus retail. Retail is your foundation. Wholesale is what you want to have so you can bring in big money. Just want to make sure you look at the cost factors involved. New or used. New goes to the guy that made the product or is distributing the product. They make the profit. You make next to nothing, 5-10%. Used is where you make the money. You can make 50, 70, 100% on your money. You invest $1,000, you should be bringing in $2,000. This is Mike Addis. Don't forget to hit the subscriber button. Check us out on addismike.com. That's my blog. You can check us out on Instagram, Mike Addis, ADDIS 2020. Got a lot of Instagram people on there. You can look at our YouTube videos. Just go to Instagram and put in Mike Addis YouTube channel, and you should be able to check all the other videos out. But if you subscribe, bing, hit the subscriber button. That's the best way to do it. It's Mike Addis talking to you from California. In Southern California, it's going to be a beautiful day today. Might even go to the beach with all the children. Have a great day. See you on the next video.